I feel that all men, we do go through similar problems and obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things that all men can relate on. Yeah. But I honestly believe that, like, as a black guy, it is we are in a unique position on this planet. Do you know what I mean? For various reasons. And this is a very valid issue. Some will say that Asian men or Oriental men, you could say, they have it harder than we do. But I still don't believe it. And I'm gonna go through the reasons why. Right. So make sure you hit the like button right now. All of you that are here, hit the like button.
Yeah, I mean, go and hit the like button. Go and watch his video. You know, I haven't seen all of it myself, but I'm gonna probably watch the rest of it tomorrow. But yeah, go watch his video. It's a good video.
If you're listening to this on the playback,
I'm gonna say that I agree. I'm gonna say that I agree with him. Okay, so let's get into it. So first of all, when it comes to the money, okay, let's be honest. Most black men are poor. You know, that's just the truth. I mean, even black women are employed at a higher rate than black men. You know, that's not necessarily black men's fault because, as I said in my other videos before, that women are employed at a higher rate than men because it's easier for a woman to get a job than a man. I truly believe that, and I have the evidence to support that. But I mean, we're in a situation where, I mean, in some parts, black men have an unemployment rate of 50%, young black men. I mean, if can't even keep up with the women that you're trying to date financially, that's going to be a big problem for you because they have a certain lifestyle that they want. And if you cannot afford, I mean, black women are not rich enough themselves even to, even if they wanted to, which most women don't want to do that, but even if they wanted to supply you and pay for everything, most of these women don't even have the finances themselves to do that. But I mean, a lot of these guys, they cannot get jobs, and it's gonna be tough. It's tough. I mean, a high incarceration rate. So a lot of these guys, they come out of jail and they got a record. They can't get no jobs. So I mean, this is a big problem because we know that money is not everything, but you do need some money. Especially when it comes to, because we gotta go back to the topic of, is it harder for black men to get pretty women? A lot of these pretty women, they have access to rich guys. They have access to guys with money. They have access to guys that are above average. Okay? So if you're unemployed, you can't even make an income. How are you gonna get pretty women? Yes, there's other ways, but most guys who do get women, whether it's a Chad, whether it's a Tyrone, whether it's a Oofy Doofy, they got some income. You know, you gotta have some income. You can't be unemployed. I know a lot of people talk about, oh, there's this Tyrone character, and he's unemployed, and he still gets women. He lives in women's houses, and blah blah blah, all this nonsense. Personally, I don't know about all that. Okay, but the black guys I see with women, that you can tell they're not doing well financially. They're not getting attractive women. Yeah, they can get women. I mean, if you're unemployed, one thing that if you're unemployed, um, you have a lot, because a lot of these guys, they're unemployed. They have a lot of time to put into dating. They have a lot of time to put into dating. Um, so they will probably they'll get a woman. I mean, because while the rest of us are working on ourselves and trying to improve our lives, these guys are out there and they're playing the numbers game. It's like PUA, you know, you're playing a numbers game. So yeah, they can go out there and get some women, but the women that they're gonna get is low quality. And even if they get something decent, they're not gonna be able to keep her because they're unemployed. So I mean, when it comes down to that, and I'm not saying that you know, black men can't get jobs or anything. Like, I'm not saying that, but I'm just coming from a realistic perspective that the ones that are unemployed, which is higher at a higher rate than other groups, and again, that's not necessarily black men's fault, but this is just the reality. Um, you know, it's gonna be tougher for them to go out there and get results and get especially attractive women. So that's my first point, the money aspect. Even if they're not unemployed, a lot of the time the money that they're making is still less, you know, it's still less than their white counterparts, the Asian counterparts. So it's gonna be tough to compete. You gotta match up with other factors. Another point is when it comes down to the looks, okay? Not the looks of black men, but the looks of black women. Now, when it comes down to black women, they are rated on at the bottom of attractiveness. Now we can debate, we can say, you know, looks are subjective, and they are, and I've argued this for the longest time, that looks are very, very subjective. Um, but we do have, you know, what is known as a standard of beauty. No, sorry. We do have what is known as a standard of beauty, okay? And that standard of beauty, it's I'd say it's relatively universal, okay? And when it comes down to the standard of beauty, we have to understand that, you know, the media does like to portray certain different types of women, which I'm not going to get into in depth in this video, but that does go into your brain. You know? It does go into your brain, and it does affect how you view actually women. You know, it does affect how you view women. It does affect what you consider attractive as a man and what you don't consider attractive. You have to remember that you know, men are very much stimulated by the visual. Are stimulated by the visual. So because men are stimulated by the visual, okay, and black women are not considered for the most part, and King Richez mentioned it himself, that when you look at it facially, these women, the facial features don't really they don't really represent what is considered beautiful by Western beauty standards. So again, this is subjective, but what is not subjective, what is less subjective, is the fact that black women, okay, they are represented as having the highest obesity rates, over 50%, actually, over 50%. Believe it or not, it is over 50% of black women that are obese. And when you have that kind of situation where black women are the fattest, okay, and black men are not actually the fattest. I saw this statistic the other day that this was for the USA, that actually Hispanic men are fatter than black men. Even white men are slightly fatter than black men. Asian men and Asian women are the skinniest, but black women are the fattest. I think the disparity was about, I think about 15, 16, 17%. Black women were more fatter than black men. So that's a problem for black men as well, because if they stick to their own race, if they don't go out into other races, a lot of black men that are in shape are going to have to date fat, obese black women. Of course, obese, I mean, this is something that is less subjective. That obesity is just unattractive. It's just flat out unattractive, I mean. And this is what these guys are going to have to resort to dating. The guys that are even average guys. I mean, an average black guy, if he sticks to black women, because so many of them are obese, he's really going to have to date one or stay single, you know. But if he wants to date, he's going to have to go for a fat black woman. So that's one factor. Now, on to another point, the reputation. You know, the reputation that black men have is not very good. It's really not very good, and you know, I mean, black men do have a reputation of running away from the kids, which, you know, there is some truth to it. I mean, we have to be honest here. There is some truth to it. Not looking after the kids. You know, that's a big problem, because when you have that reputation, when you have that stereotype, a woman that wants to have a family, is she gonna get with a black man? Is she gonna marry a black man? You know, back to the point of money as well. Black men don't even have the money to get married, most of them. You know, and that's represented by the actual official statistics that black men and black women are the least married groups. They don't have the finances. Combination of poor finances and bad reputation leaves them as not being marriage material. You know, majority of black guys are not going to be viewed as marriage material. And that's the thing. I mean, a lot of these women, these attractive women, you know, if they're, you know, from a more classy, a more, you know, respected and prestigious and wealthier background, where most of the attractive women are based. I mean, you go to a low income area where there's a lot of black people in the hood, the women there are not attractive. You know, you go to any black area, low income black area, they're not attractive. You'd be hard pressed to find any attractive women, you know, and that's the thing. But you go to an area that's more wealthier, that's more affluent, there's a lot more attractive women there, you know, because they're a lot slimmer. You know, most of the fat people come from the lower middle class, the working class. That's where most of the fat people come from. The upper ends of society, you don't see that many fat people. You know, they look a lot better, they take better care of themselves, they're more into their fitness. So at that upper end, a lot of these women are looking to get married. And if you have a reputation about you that you're not marriage material, that, you know, run away and you don't take care of your kids, you know, that's gonna harm you. You know, because there are women out there that are looking for marriage exclusively. They want to find a guy to get married to him. And a lot of those black women have already said, we don't want to go for black men anymore. We're going to marry a white man. I mean, we've seen the swirling movement. What's that woman's name? Crystalline. He knows what I'm talking. King Richez knows what I'm talking about. The swirling movement. Why was that created? By, you know, we don't have. I mean, other women are not doing this. And that's another thing that goes back to King Rich's point that, you know, that other women are not doing this. Black women are the ones who are, creating movements and writing books. They're actually writing books on how to get white men. How to get other races of men. They're writing books on that. I don't see white women writing books on how to get other races of men. I don't see Asian women doing that. So, these are the reasons why that leaves black men in a position where it's harder for them to get even average women, let alone attractive, pretty women. So, I mean, just to summarize, the three main points. Number one being financial. The fact that black men have a high rates of unemployment, and even when they are employed, they're typically earning less. Number two is the lower attractiveness rate of black women, including the facial features that are not considered attractive by Western beauty standards. And on top of that, the obesity rates that black women have. And finally, the bad reputation and not being seen as marriage material in particular. So that's all I gotta say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments, like this video please, I'd appreciate that, and subscribe if you're not already, and make sure to hit the notification bell so you are informed every time I upload a new video. And that's all I gotta say. I'm out of here.